Welcome to The System Works, the lifestyle channel that shows you a practical way to live, the what's in it for you. The System Works. Own it. Welcome back to The System Works. I'm your host, Ernest Phillips, and today's episode is one of my favorites. How to catch a liar. Because here's the thing, you're doing it wrong. I can't wait for you to learn this because it's going to make your life so much easier, so much more relaxed. So here's the thing. Everybody wants to catch a liar. We all want to catch them. Some of us even want the confession, which frankly never happens. So we have all the TV shows, all the cop shows, all the Law and Order shows, every Marvel movie, every movie, it seems like there's always one part where someone's trying to catch someone in a lie, and they have all the tricks, and they never always work, and they try everything. And here's the secret. Here's how you catch a liar. Find what is true, and then everything else isn't. So this is what I mean. So one of my favorite shows was a show called Lie to Me, okay? And it was awesome. The whole show was they would slow things down and they would catch this person was lying because their eyes looked up left, and that means you're being creative, or you're looking that way, or you're crossing your arms. And it was cool. It was nonverbal communication at its finest, and they used psychology, and they used social, and they used research, and it was really cool. Coming from a person who has their degree in psychology, and I've been coaching for 17 years, this was really good stuff. But here's the thing. It's so hard to do, and it's not a perfect science. So sometimes when someone licks their lips before they answer or when they pause, it doesn't mean that they're actually lying. So now what does it really mean? So now you got to figure out all these different ways to catch a liar. And I'm telling you, it's too hard and it doesn't work. It's not a great science. So here is the answer again. Find what is true. That's all you got to find out what is true. And then anything left is untrue. So let's use the analogy of counterfeit money. All right, so here's the thing. If I have a stack of $100 bills, okay, I got a stack of 20, and one of them is counterfeit. All right, so this is what we do. The classical thing is I'm going to look through and I'm going to look at it. I'm going to do the mirror. I'm going to do the marker. I'm going to do all the stuff that they do, right? And I'm going to look for it, and I'm going to use the whole stuff like from the movie with Leonardo DiCaprio. He's traveling all around. I can't remember the movie. You probably know it. It's not To Catch a Thief, but... So he counterfeits everything, and he knows every trick in the book. So I can do that, and I can spend all that time. Or I can sit there, and the only thing I do is play with the real, genuine article. So you give me $100 bills, give me 20 of them, and let me just play with them. Let me just look at them, and let me just play with them. Let me just look at them. Let me just touch them. Let me feel them. Let me just see how they feel. And now what happens if you slip one of those counterfeit in? I'll be doing this. Real, 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 real. Something's different. I'm going to put that in that pile. Real, 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 real. Oop. Something feels funny. I'm going to put it in that pile. And now I don't have to know why it's counterfeit. I just know that it is. And I know that it is because I know it's not the real, genuine article. So that is how you do it. So a tug tip is this. If you don't believe them when they're telling the truth, you will not know when they lie. So I'm going to do that one again because that one's a little bit. If you don't believe them when they're telling the truth, you will not know when they lie. We keep trying to catch them in a lie. That's our first goal. That's why we don't believe them when they actually tell the truth, because they might have done the eyes up. They might have done this. They might have done all these things. Doesn't work. Start off with what is true. Now, I'm going to tell you something that I've learned is there is a frequency to truth. And it's a natural frequency in our human bodies. We are not designed to be out of alignment. We're designed to be in nature. We're designed to be alongside with things that are true, which is why it's hard to lie. Because we're going to give away something because we don't really believe the lie. We don't really believe everything because it's not true. So truth has this frequency. And once you start paying attention to it, you'll hear it everywhere. You'll hear it when someone gives you a compliment. You'll hear it when someone says, wow, that was a great job. And you're like, yeah, there's something in there. And then you can ask. You said that I did a great job. Tell me more. Now, that's one of my favorite questions. I do it all the time. I've done it with my producers. I've done it 10 minutes ago. They gave a great compliment, and I said, tell me more. Because guess what? If they're lying, they will stumble. And that's when they'll stumble. And then I'll hear something that isn't true. And now I can just dismiss that and go about my business. I don't have to catch them. I don't have to tell them why I know they're lying. I don't have to do any of that because it's not my job and it doesn't benefit me. Here's what benefits me. Going through life without having to protect myself from trying to catch someone who is lying to me. It is one of the greatest things. It is the most relaxing thing in the world because I used to try to catch them. I wanted the confession. I wanted to nail them to the wall. I wanted proof. And then when I caught them and I would spend all this time and then I would go, boom, I know you lied back on June 3rd because you said this and this wasn't true. And usually it got me nowhere. And I'd spent months thinking about it. And thinking about that other person, they lied. And now I don't trust them. And now I don't do this. And now I have this storyline in my head. And it didn't help me. It gave me zero benefit. So now I have people that I trust. And everyone else is something else. I don't have to worry about them anymore. So here's the Wi-Fi. The what's in it for you. Less work and effort in your life. Wouldn't it be nice to just go through life and not have to worry about things? Wouldn't it be nice to go through life and not have to always be on guard to see whether or not they're going to lie to you, to see if they're trying to do something? Don't worry about that anymore. Your applied action step is this. Teach yourself what is true. Don't worry about the why. Don't worry about the how. Just teach what is true. And then everything else left isn't. And now you get to go through life and you have so much more freedom and peace. And that is how to catch a liar. So thanks for joining us. We love when you hit like. We love when you subscribe. We love when you comment. Actually, that's my favorite. I love the feedback, whether it's positive, negative. I love that. So please do that more. The supporters. Always got to do my big supporters. Number one supporter of the YouTube channel is Metro Studios. You can find them at metros-studios.com. They are amazing. They are great to work with, whether it's a small project or a huge project. I've leaned on them to do all of my websites. They built the YouTube channel. They do the SEO. They're amazing. So reach out to them. If you want more information on the coaching side of things, or you want to subscribe to the newsletter, you can do that in the below links, but you can also do that if you go to the Relationship Wealth Enterprises website, which is www.evolutionei.com. I know, I almost forgot it. But again, enjoy your lives. We'll see you soon. Thanks for watching.